Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wednesday's Reflexology Wisdom. And today we have probably got the most up-to-date bit of news ever, because this video was recorded just yesterday. And in the house, we have got Marcia Edwards and we've got Hamish Edgar, and they have just had a piece of research published. And it is super exciting because this, I think, and tell me if I've got this wrong, Marcia and Hamish, this really does lay the ground as far as preparation is concerned for massive stuff that's going to be happening with fibromyalgia and reflexology. Now, have I got this right or have I got it right?
Yes, you've got it. You've got it right, David. It's
Woohoo!
the first research paper with limbic reflexology
Perfect. So
published.
please talk me through this. Now, I see on here, it says this is a qualitative investigation of non-drug treatment. Now, why have you done this first rather than going straight into a huge randomized control trial? What's the reason for that? I don't mind who answers this, by the way.
No, I'll answer this. The main reason is because this is a completely, when I say new treatment, it's not new because obviously it's been around for a very long time. But from a research perspective, this is the first research paper.
Yeah.
So you would always start and want to start with a qualitative paper first, because you don't know whether it's going to be effective. So that's where you would start from first, is looking at that qualitative side. And if that looks like you're getting some good results from there, that's when you would start looking at the quantitative side as well.
Right.
So you want to do the qualitative side, just interviewing people, talking about their experiences, and then think, right, actually, this sounds like it's a good idea. Then you would go into the quantitative side.
So this is the dipping the toe in the water type of trial.
Yes.
Would I be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see, does it work? Are we on the right track? And then,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what have you discovered? What does the paper tell us?
Right. So the paper really is, it's a free interviews with free people with fibromyalgia, and it's their experiences having limbic reflexology for that management. So you're looking at when I did the interviews, and this happened during COVID lockdown. So when I did the interviews, it was looking at that person's experiences, and it was looking for anybody who has got fibromyalgia, but also had had limbic reflexology. So lockdown, we're talking 2020 when I did these interviews. So yeah, so that's the experience. So it was building up a picture of their fibromyalgia symptoms, how it affected them from all aspects of their life, the work life, everything like that. And then looking at how limbic reflexology had impacted their life with fibromyalgia. So you've got the before and after, in a sense, picture. That's what I was trying to build up by asking the certain questions. And then you analyze that interview data. So that's what the qualitative side of it. So from the highlights, it was that they did see the benefits after those weekly treatments. And not only after the weekly treatments, they also did the found benefits from maintenance treatments as well. Now, the key thing is when you read it as well, is that's why in one sense it was happened in lockdown, because they could then see, right, well, for a period of time, we couldn't have our limbic reflexology treatments.
No, exactly.
That's so much. So their symptoms were intensified again, enhanced, because they weren't going to do that. And they all recognized that they could, if they'd been able to have limbic reflexology, that wouldn't have been as bad. Now, it's caution with this because this is free participants only. It was qualitative. We don't know, as I said in the conclusion and the results, this was limbic reflexology as part of a treatment to reflexology. So the reflexologist would have been doing other things as well. So we're saying with caveats, we're not saying this is sweeping, we're not saying this is generalizations.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. That's why we're putting down that marker,
Yeah.
and that's
And
why it's important. Sorry.
if I may just say, for people that don't understand research, and I'm going to put my hand up here as well. I'm no expert, but we got two styles, as it were, ways of measuring. There's qualitative and there's quantitative.
Yeah.
Qualitative, which is the word that you've just used, would
Yes.
be, how does this treatment make me feel?
Yes.
And the problem with qualitative, of course, is, oh, it makes me feel better. What's better? Better is such a terrible word, really, isn't it, Marcia?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's so subjective.
Yes.
And what you're talking about, I think, now is that now that you've had this, we can now go on to quantitative, which is measurement, which is,
Measurement.
this makes me feel. I don't know whether you just heard that bang just there. I'm getting I'm so excited about this research paper. I really am. I'm just going to hit the microphone because I'm so excited at this end. But I take it that's the next step, because I've read in this and I've seen complete transformations. That's what it
Yes.
looked like to me. In
Yes.
that you've got people that had to give up work. You've got
Yes.
people that were debilitated with the
Yes.
conditions, with their
Yes.
with this disease,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like miraculous cure is what and I know we shouldn't use that word in
And
reflexology.
that's what I'm saying with every caveat, which I have to do, you do from a research perspective, because that's why it was so important to do this research, because we as reflexologists can say, oh, this really works well. We could have our clients saying, oh, this is great. I actually had a client, because she had such good results from having the limbic reflexology. It's on YouTube. She was just so amazed at it. That's what she wanted to do. But that's all with hearsay and that perspective. But it's not
Yes.
until we've got the evidence research that we can then make these claims. And as I said, it's still with caveats, because this is the start. We don't know how effective it is. And that's
Marcia, please do me a favor, because I didn't know about this lady that's on YouTube that's saying about her experiences. You must send me the link
I will.
so that I can then let other people know what it is. That would just be amazing. It really, really would.
That was in 2017.
Right.
She was just amazed by this. That's what I'm saying, is that was one of the key things which made me think I've got to get this out there. So that's why I decided to go back to university and get my master's in research.
I was just going to say, I bet that really tweaked your scientific mind and made you think, I've got to dive into this. I've got to really understand it. I've got to work out what's behind this. And does it work with everybody else as well? Because that's the big question, isn't it?
It's exactly. So I contacted my local fibromyalgia support group. Gave a talk on limbic reflexology. I did volunteering, but it wasn't until that you wanted to go back to research. Now, my undergraduate degree was in applied statistics. So from my perspective, when you were saying you want to jump straight into the quantitative side, and that's what everybody wants, the medical research, it's how effective is it? Quantitative. So when I went back to university, that's what I was looking at. Quantitative. As soon as I started doing the different modules and introduction to qualitative research method, I changed, because then you see the power in qualitative research. It's not the quantity, it's the quality of it. And the power of somebody's words. So
they were absolutely amazing words in here as to how people felt.
Yes.
And as reflexologists, of course, we know there's a huge difference between like when the medical world say that you are cured of something and the person still doesn't feel quite right. Whereas what you're talking about here is people that are describing near enough complete resolution of their symptoms and they
Right.
are feeling so much better
So much better.
and no nasty side effects, because this is, as it says here, a non-drug treatment. So this is
Yes.
just so exciting. Now, I can't help but I've just got to pull Hamish in on this. Hamish, this is not like you. You're being very, very
Fine.
quiet at the moment. You're just sitting there being quiet.
I'm
What?
outnumbered here.
What? Hey? So tell us where we're going to go with this now, please.
Well, the
Oh,
Marcia has to
actually,
take full
hang.
credit.
I've actually got a more. What? Sorry, sorry about this, Hamish. I should one question first, and then tell us why isn't your name on this paper?
This is all down to Marcia. That research is all down to Marcia.
Right.
She did that, as you said, and as part of her MRes
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
in 2017. Marcia qualified or trained in Limbic, finished in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And she contacted me a while after, saying, I'm going back to university, I'm doing this research. And of course, that was music to my ears,
Yes.
because ever since I started doing limbic reflexology, my aim would be to get limbic reflexology into mainstream. And that was always mine. I think I said that to every class that I spoke to. But I knew full well that to get it into mainstream, we need research, good
Yes.
research,
Yeah.
which is way above my head. Like you, David, my research is Greek to me. A lot of the stuff we talk about, I
I
have no
think
idea
you're
what we're
being
talking
far
about.
too
Yeah,
modest here, Hamish.
no, it is a very specialised field, as I'm sure you know. So it was music to my ears when Marcia wanted to do research. And fibromyalgia, but the reason why we're doing fibromyalgia is not it's not a choice in that sense. It evolved. It evolved. The very beginnings of limbic reflexology involved working with people who are living with fibromyalgia, simply because one of my first clients had was living with fibromyalgia, and at that time I had probably half the reflex areas I've got now, and she had a dramatic improvement, and I thought that there's something here, because when I was in mental health, we got a lot of people with fibromyalgia referred to mental health services, usually for depression. But of course, depression wasn't the problem. Pain was the problem. The sleep problem, the cognitive impairment. Those were the problems, and we didn't really do a great deal for them. And it always stuck in my head. And when this lady improved so much, I thought there's something here.
Yeah.
And
You
I and I
you
contacted.
worked on a student of mine, I think it was about 2012, something like that
Mhm.
sort of time, and she was raving about you.
Right,
She
right,
used to have to do short days at work,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, struggling to exist.
Uh,
And
I think that was chronic fatigue that she had. Wasn't fibromyalgia. It was
ah,
chronic fatigue. Yeah, ME. And that's made my point very well, David, because limbic is not just about fibromyalgia. It just so happens that fibromyalgia is probably the presentation that is the best one to learn limbic with,
right.
simply because it's a syndrome,
Yes.
and it's got depression, it's got anxiety, it's got pain, it's got fatigue, it's got sleep problems, it's got cognitive problems. And with someone living with fibromyalgia, you're going to find most of the limbic reflex areas are involved.
Right.
So therefore, it's the best presentation to learn limbic.
Perfect.
Um,
Now,
having said that, but
we
chronic fatigue actually has a better outcome. It has a better outcome. Chronic fatigue, none of them cure. I'm going to correct you. That none of it cures anything. What it does, it helps them manage it.
yes.
Because up until that point, the condition, either fibro or chronic fatigue or whatever, manages their life, controls their life. And like you said earlier on, it has huge impact in every aspect of their life. When they've had limbic, it doesn't go away completely, but what it does, it puts them back in control. They're back in the driving seat. And certainly with fibromyalgia, you need monthly maintenance treatments.
Right.
Otherwise, as Marcia mentioned, it will gradually come back. It's usually shoulders and neck. It usually comes back first.
Right.
But with chronic fatigue, they don't seem to need the maintenance treatment.
Ah.
I've successfully treated quite a few chronic fatigue ME clients, and I've contacted them. They said, "Well, leave it at that," and we contacted them months later and said, "No, I'm fine. I'm doing everything I want to be doing."
Perfect.
So it's actually more effective.
Yeah.
But with fibromyalgia, that's a reason why we're going with that, because there's absolutely no treatment. No treatment
Oh,
for
exactly.
fibromyalgia.
There is nothing in the medical world for it,
No.
is there?
There's loads of medication which have terrible side effects, and they say to exercise.
Yeah.
And if you know anyone with fibromyalgia, they'll say, "But I can't exercise.
No.
I'm exhausted."
Yes.
And they say it wrong. It should be positive movement rather than exercise. But that's the only thing that's an offer.
Yeah.
And going back to my days in mental health, I'm determined to do something for these people.
Brilliant. Now that's exactly that's the segue I'm looking for. So this determination that you're going to do something to help these people, what is the next step? Where are we going with this now? Marcia or Hamish, I don't mind who, you can have a fight over who answers this
I'm
question.
going to put it over to Marcia because she's organised it all.
Okay. We already have a plan. Excellent. Go for it.
I've just said yes to everything. Marcia's done all the work.
It's been a bit like that, but it's a joint effort. The next stages, and that's why I alluded to it in the research, is that we want to do a mixed method research study. So as you pointed out before, David, there's two types. So the mixed method would be not only the qualitative, but it would be the quantitative. So we've got the experiences, but we also now will find out how effective it is.
Yeah.
So we have got research ethics approval.
Lovely.
For this mixed method research study.
So we're already moving forward then.
We're already moving forward. So that was the big thing, which is why we set up the Limbic Reflexology Research Community Interest Company, because we wanted it a non-profit so that then we could apply for funding as well as finding other ways to raise money. So we did that, myself and Hamish as co-directors, in December last year. We are good to go. We've got the clinical outcome assessment, which we will do. It's called the FIQR, which is a revised impact and fibromyalgia impact questionnaire. We've also already got a license
That's what
for that.
FIQR stands for then.
So we've got that.
I'm just pulling this all apart so everybody knows exactly what we're talking about.
Sometimes I get too excited and I talk too fast.
Let's just play that one. FIQR stands for what, Marcia? Sorry.
It's the revised fibromyalgia impact questionnaire.
Okay. So this is, I take it you're going to be asking this at the beginning of the study, and then you're going to be noting what the results are?
Yes.
And
so
then the similar questions get asked later, and you see what the difference is. Would that be?
Yeah. So we've got the webinar which we did with you, David, actually tells us how that's going to come about, how we're going to do that control as well. Because before everybody's all excited about, we want to know how effective it is, but and we're saying that every person is signed up for the research gets the 12 sessions. So that's 8 weekly sessions or twice a week, and then 4 monthly sessions as well, maintenance sessions, so we can see the effects of it. But we also are going to build in a control. So what we will do is ask those participants to also complete the questionnaires before they start limbic reflexology. So
Right.
that will act as our base and our control, and then we'll have the limbic reflexology sessions, and then we can do that comparison as well.
Okay.
We're also going to have a look at...
We do the outcome measure before every treatment.
Yeah.
So before the first treatment, that's the baseline.
Yep.
And then the one before the second treatment measures the effect of the first treatment, and so on.
Now that's interesting as well. So you're not getting that immediate result, which of course is always going to be good. You're going to be getting a result that is then, okay, things are now settled, whether it's half a week, a full week, whichever, so that you're getting a much more realistic viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
It's 8 weeks. I know I mentioned about that group when I first developing it. I established then that 8 treatments is optimal.
Yeah.
Before 8 treatments, you may get improvement, but you get the maximum improvement after 8.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
it needs to be 8. Yeah.
And that was also highlighted in the research paper, because at that point when it was happened, some of them have only got 6 weekly sessions.
Yeah. Now you're getting quite a team around you to do this, aren't you? I believe.
Yes, we've got. I've set up a research team, and we've got the amazing Dr. Jackie James as part of that.
Yay! Absolutely.
So with a professional doctorate on the TDA, to look at the intervention, because that is the key thing for the quality of that research, is to make sure that research is repeatable.
Yes.
So even with the qualitative research paper that I've, which is published now, is if you go down to the section of data availability, in there is a link to the anonymized transcripts of the interviews, and that's published separately. So anybody can look at that anonymized data and reproduce that paper. And that's where we're saying that's a good piece of research, a quality research paper, because
sound
it's
and solid. Excellent.
sound and solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're doing it. And then we've also got 2 qualitative researchers. Sam and Nassimi was also co-author on that published paper, and then Jennifer Brown as well, who's hopefully, fingers crossed, will be completing their PhD early next year. So
Brilliant.
we've got a good caliber, and obviously then we've got the limbic reflex therapists, which, as Hamish can say, we've already got 14 or 16 reflexologists signed up to be part of the research. So we are good to go. We just need the funding.
So this is really exciting, actually, because normally when you get a piece of research done with reflexology, there will be a reflexologist that does the work. You've got, what did you say, 16?
16 so far.
And that's only in England.
And so this is going to be spread across the country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Different people, but all doing the same thing?
And that's what it is.
Yes.
It's the protocol, the intervention, which is the same thing.
Yeah. But this is going to be fabulous, because this is going to be getting rid of one of the variables or potential variables as such. Sorry, I'm now using reflexology speak, which is where if one person does it and you just got the one reflexologist doing a piece of research, then if another one does what they think is going to be the same thing, it could be completely different. But what you are doing is ironing that crease right out by getting all these different people to do the same thing, obviously in their not their way, because they're following the protocol. But it is going to be fabulous. This is going to be so exciting. When is this happening? When does it start?
It starts as soon as we get funding.
Oh, right.
So that's it.
So what can we do? What can we do to get the funding? What, where do people go? Is there a website? Is there something they can do? Are there charities people can get in touch with? How do we help?
So the main thing is our website, limbicreflexologyresearch.com.
Okay.
And on there is a supporters page.
Right.
So that is the main donate to us.
Mhm.
And what we're saying is, and the key thing for me was not that this was inside the university, which was, I work with a charity, fibromyalgia charity called More Than Fibro, and you can imagine, they get requests from universities all the time to say, could you, with your members, they take part in this, and could you take part in that? But as you said, it's down to one location.
Yeah.
And then they do that research, and they may not hear anything back from it for a very long time, which is why I wanted it across the UK, because once that person is participating in that, that local, a reflexologist local to them, if they want to, they can continue after that research is over and that participant. So what we're saying is anybody can donate and involved in this research from as little as £5.
But that's less than a cup of coffee nowadays, isn't it?
No, but that's what I'm saying. So everybody can. We're not asking for hundreds and thousands. Obviously, if
we are.
We do. No, of course we do. But what I'm saying is,
spoken as a true Scot, there, Hamish.
But everybody's always saying, "Oh, research is very, very expensive." It can be, but we're cutting it down to the minimum that we can, but to be still effective. But if we're saying, right, okay, that person with fibromyalgia or that family member with fibromyalgia thinks, right, this research could really help my loved one, I'm going to donate that £5, or I'm going to donate £10, and they know it's going directly to helping that person.
So how much money are you needing to raise?
We're looking at raising about £75,000 in that region, because what we're talking about being effective, and we're talking about significant results. So that's when they're saying about when you apply for that hypothesis. So you want the sample size has got to be big enough. So what we're looking at is being able to have at least 100 plus participants in the study.
I am pretty sure that in the UK we have at least 5,000 reflexologists. I've just done a little bit of maths. So dividing that sum by 5,000, if just in the UK each reflexologist that there is, and I mean, wouldn't it be marvelous if they all donated? I think I've got something like 15,000 people that are signed up to this channel. But if just 5,000 gave £15, we've raised the money overnight. It is not a difficult thing to do. And so, guys, for those of you that are watching, please don't just give £15, just like Hamish has said, give 1,000 if you can. But no, seriously, if you just can give what you can give, because to my mind, this piece of research that you're going to do, if you get the same result, and why wouldn't you? If you get the same result as you got with this piece of research, it's going to be the golden bullet for reflexology in the medical world. It really, really is. They don't have an answer. And then if all of a sudden reflexology proves that it's effective for fibromyalgia, what a win for our therapy. But we need that research to be able to prove it, don't we?
Yeah. And if I sort of just mention one other thing, when I was looking at that MRes, and I always knew that I wanted to get it published, and my supervisor, Professor Joanna McParlin, which is the second author on that paper, when I was talking to her, because from graduating in 2021 to actually looking at this, it's a number of years. So we went through that process. But I submitted the MRes paper, an update of the MRes paper in July 2024. So it's gone through major revisions. It's by 5 reviewers in their experts reviewers, numerous editors, because it was a special issue, so they had 3 guest editors, and it only got accepted on the 25th of August 2025. So that's over a year. And one of those reviewers, the first one that came out and said, yes, this is important. This paper, it's important, but it's still got to be a quality research paper. And that's why it went through 4 revisions.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Marcia, Hamish, I think that the two of you have done an absolutely wonderful thing. I really, really, really do. I'm so excited. Every year, do you know when I'm starting a new course at Jubilee? Whenever I start a new course, I always say there's never been a more exciting time to be a reflexologist. Now, in 2 weeks' time, I've got a new class starting. I'm going to be saying it again because it really is. Each year, it gets more and more and more exciting. And I just absolutely wish you all the very, very best again. Shout out where people can donate to again, please, Marcia.
So it's the Limbic Reflexology Research.com, the website.
Wonderful.
And
Okay.
on there is a supporters page.
Excellent.
So that will be to the PayPal.
Hamish, there's probably going to be a load of people going, I've never heard of limbic reflexology before. Can they learn it? And if they can, where can they learn it? Because I think that's your side of things, isn't it?
Right, it is. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, I've got 1 O level to my name type thing. With all these people, professors and everything.
One more than me.
Yeah. The limbic reflexology training is an AOR approved course, so you get contact through the AOR approved course page, or you can get limbicreflexology.com
Excellent.
and find out all about it there. Yeah.
Perfect.
And can I just point out one thing as well? As I said, my undergraduate degree was in applied statistics. So when I worked with that very first person with fibromyalgia, the case study, a light bulb went off. And because of how Hamish has documented everything, that there's a book out there, that is why I was invested in this. And as I said, that's from 2016. If he had not done the work and documented to that point, and also now have it online, I wouldn't be doing this, because it would be just too difficult. Yeah. And that's the mark of Hamish.
And now it's taken over your life.
Yes, well, that's the other thing as well. I've got him to blame. I'm living and breathing it. Oh my gosh.
Seriously,
I'm invested. I think I'm invested by.
You're totally invested in it.
It's been,
guys. It has been an absolute delight to have you on Wednesday's Reflexology Wisdom. For those of you that are watching, if there's anything that you can't remember that we've said, of course you can rewind it, or drop a message in the comments section on the YouTube channel you're watching, or any of the Facebook pages that you're watching. Drop us a comment on there so that we can get back to you. Marcia and Hamish, you on Facebook as well? So if they tag you, you would get it, wouldn't you? I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. So yeah, we'll go with that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care. Stay well. And if you have enjoyed this episode of Wednesday's Reflexology Wisdom, do please like and subscribe so we can keep you up to date with everything else that's going on. Thank you very much.